The 16 Republican presidential candidates will debate in Cleveland next week, but not at the same time. The first of two debates is at 5 p.m. on August 6th. It is for those who are outside the top 10, according to national polls. That group is likely to include Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal. The latest Real Clear Politics average of polls measures his support at 1.3%. Governor Jindal is here in Studio 57 for the first time. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. And it is a beautiful studio, by the way.
Thank you so much. Looking at all this, these upcoming debates and where you are at 5 p.m., what is your pathway to the nomination? How do you expect to get the nomination?
Well, a couple of things. One, you look at what's happening on the ground in Iowa. We've said we're going to every county there. Charlie, the crowds have been great. There have been 3 different polls in the last week showing that we're on the move in Iowa. We see not only standing room only crowds, but people in Iowa, and I hear this in other states as well, they're saying we're looking for somebody who'll stand up to D.C., stand up to both parties. There are a lot of candidates running that don't have the bandwidth, don't have the backbone, don't have the experience to get the job done. I do.
Why aren't voters getting that message?
Well, I think they are, and I think they are in Iowa. I think, look, right now you've got a lot of candidates that are willing to say extreme things, outlandish things to get on TV, to get in the debates. We're not doing that. Instead, we're offering specific ideas on how do we fix our healthcare system, how do we grow our economy, how do we invest in our military, how do we fix our educational systems. We're actually offering specific ideas to voters, and I think it is resonating. I think you are seeing that movement growing in Iowa on the ground. We're investing our time in the early states. This is the first debate.
Ratings, Governor, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I know our time is limited.
Sure.
Your approval rating in your home state of Louisiana is not so great. In fact, they're at an all-time low. How do you intend to translate that to a national stage if people in your own state are saying, well, we have some issues with you?
Well, 2 things. I would say I'd ask people to actually look at what we've accomplished in Louisiana. There are a lot of folks talking a great talk in this race. We've actually accomplished, in our state, we've cut our budget 26%. Over 30,000 fewer state bureaucrats than the day I took office. More people working than ever before, earning a higher income than ever before in my state's history. I came in office, we were talking about Katrina. I came in office a couple of years after Katrina. Our state was reeling. We had 25 years in a row of out-migration. We've reversed that. We've got statewide school choice. We have proven we can shrink government, grow the private sector economy. If folks are looking for a popular politician, you can govern by the polls. You can kiss babies, cut ribbons, don't do anything. That's not what our country needs. We're in serious trouble right now. We've got to shrink our federal government, grow our private sector economy. I've done that in Louisiana. I can do that in D.C.
Governor, I think it's fair to say you're considered one of the smartest voices in the Republican Party. You tackle policy issues head on. You propose really tough solutions. You have a debate coming up where people are going to get their first look really at the candidates, the smaller debate that you'll be in, and then with the top tier candidates, the other debate, where Donald Trump is going to be center stage. Do you think he should be in this race? What about his comments that he's made?
Look, I think anytime the donors in New York or the smart people in D.C. try to clear the field or pick a candidate, it never works. I trust the American people. I think the voters are getting serious. They're starting to pay attention to this race. I think that it is
but he's leading in the polls.
But look, I trust
amongst Republicans.
I trust the American people. And I think at the end of the day, they're going to vote for somebody who is an authentic outsider. Right now, they're frustrated. They sent Republican majorities to D.C. and nothing changed. You know, amnesty didn't get repealed. The Obamacare didn't get repealed. We didn't see them actually balance the budget. This is where I disagree. Jeb Bush says we've got to be willing to lose the primary in order to win the general election. I disagree with that. If we're going to run scared again, if we're going to try to hide our conservative principles, we will lose and we will deserve to lose. Jeb just came out this week, just yesterday, and said he is for amnesty for the millions of folks that are here in our country illegally. I think that's a mistake. I think that is an example where voters are saying we want somebody to represent us. The hour is late. We need big change in our country.
Speaking of other candidates, Mike Huckabee and the Holocaust. What did you think of that remark?
Well, look. Outlandish comments are outlandish, but they're just comments.
Is it just outlandish or is it more?
Well, look, 2 things. At this time, you've got the leadership in Iran talking death to America. You want outlandish comments. What we shouldn't forget, these are outlandish comments, but we shouldn't forget is that what's really at issue here is you've got the president trying to push a bad deal with Iran that could start a nuclear arms race in the Middle East.
Do you agree with Governor Huckabee?
No, look, I don't make it a practice to compare anything to the Holocaust. I think that was a horrific evil. But I think the bigger issue is we must not sign a bad deal that could start a nuclear arms race. I don't think the Sunni countries, I don't think the Saudis, the Egyptians, the Turks are going to sit idly by while Iran becomes a nuclear power. Charlie, they're chanting death to America, death to Israel. We don't get anytime, anywhere inspections. You have thousands of centrifuges left in Iran. Israel hates this deal. Assad in Syria loves this deal. So our enemies love this deal. Our allies don't like this deal. Israel is our most important ally. We need to be standing with Israel. Let's look to the substance of this deal. This is a very, very bad deal.
16 candidates on the Republican side. Who should be dropping out?
Well, nobody should be dropping out. The voters decide. The voters, I believe, are going to nominate somebody with the backbone and experience. I think that's me.
All right,
we can get the job done.
And who's running for vice president?
All right, Governor Jindal, thank you.